Hi everyone, good afternoon, and welcome to the fourth episode of our image series. We apologize and we start in 2 minutes time. Thank you very much.
Yeah, 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 I know, I know. I'll be replying to you today. You've been caught up daily. I'll be replying to you today. Yeah, okay.
A warm welcome to all our participants, and it is very heartening to see a lot of familiar names over here. So, thank you for being with us right from the first session. We are on to the fourth session, and now we officially begin. So, good afternoon to all. A warm welcome for our session on image series that we have launched. And today's session is about the influence advantage, which is building executive presence in a digital world. I would I would like to request our chairman, Shri Amit Kamatji, to please say a few words.
Yeah, thank you, Chaitali, and good afternoon, everybody, for this another webinar on a very important topic which the Federation has organized for the benefit of its members. Uh, this topic today is about influence advantage building executive presence in the digital world. Uh, as you are all aware now, lot many meetings, interactions since the COVID pandemic are happening in the digital space. Very often, people are working from their homes, people are working from offices, but meetings are happening virtual. So we have been nurtured, we have been taught, or we have been trained how to conduct ourselves, how to create an impression when we uh, attend physical meetings. But equally important today in today's scenario is your impression, your conduct, your communication, your presence during the digital meetings. Because digital meetings today is the reality of the day. It's going ahead in the future. More meetings would happen in the virtual mode only. It's also advantageous because it connects many people from far off distances, nationally, internationally. So digital meetings, virtual meetings would be the order of the time in the future. So this webinar, the objective is to identify and uh, train how to conduct oneself in the during the virtual meetings, your communication, your presence, your discussions, your dialect, and everything about this. We have with us Ms. Jyoti Gupta, who is kindly consented uh, to be training this on this webinar. She is an expert on this topic, and I'm sure that all the participants will derive benefit from this webinar. It's always the endeavor of the Federation to bring about such webinars on different topics which are meaningful, which add value to the participants, and we would welcome suggestions from the participants if there are other topics on which webinars are need to be conducted. I have with me today our office bearer in charge, our vice chairman and office bearer in charge of the training committee, Mr. Sudhir Agarwal, who is joining us from Nagpur. And with me in the secretariat is our honorary secretary, Mr. Sudeep Dey. So welcome Sudhir Bhai, and Sudeep is also here. So Chaitanya, over to you. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Amit Bhau. As usual, very encouraging words from you. And now, may I please request our office bearer, as well as Vice President, Shri Sudhir Bhai, to please say a few words.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Chetali, for the opportunity. And once again, my heartiest, I'm grateful to you and for the hard work you take in bringing such kind of topics to the foray of our community. Unfortunately, I believe the custom broker fraternity is not able to understand fully the importance of such topics which we are trying to now bring in them for through such learned professionals like Jyoti Gupta ji, who is ready to give her important time to us. And people are not able to understand that when we present ourselves in the business world, it is our personality and how we present ourselves plays a lot of important role than what knowledge we have of our business. If there are four people who are sitting with the same kind of a knowledge base, a person who has got a better personality, better representation skill or presentation skill gets the business. So this topic is equally important to the topics which we are covering, which are directly related to our business. But these topics are like a polish for our personality. If we actually understand it and try to inculcate in our day-to-day working life, I'm sure it is going to help us immensely. Whosoever is attending these programs, they will definitely have a better advantage. And I request them, each one of them, try to even tell their friends what importance this type of courses play in our life, and we should, whenever opportunity comes, we should avail this opportunity, because it is such kind of a platform. Not everybody gets it. It is the endeavor of Triple FAI and our chairman, Mr. Amit Kamath, who is very has got a passion for training. And when Chetali and myself, whenever we tell him that these are the issues or these are the topics we want to take, and he give us a free hand to organize it. I'm thankful to Jyoti ji for giving her valuable time whenever we invite her for such kind of topics. And thank you, Chetali, for the good work you are doing. And I think topic has already been discussed by Amit ji, so I don't want to say anything on it. And Jyoti ji is there; she will elaborate on it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sudhir Bhai. You couldn't have said it nicer. I think we will evolve as we go, and considering that we have a lot of repeat participants, it just shows that if not for all, then at least for a few of them who are coming and who have been with us right from the first episode, or the first session as we call it, they would have understood the importance of it. Jyoti actually requires no introduction. I'm so glad that she's part of the women's wing. And it's very important that people understand as to why why we've set off the image series now, and primarily is because the world has changed the way we do business, the way we get our business, the way we do marketing, the PR and all, and therefore it is very important that what we may do in our personal lives may be a different thing, but professionally it does not matter whether we are the owners, directors, or we are the top management, middle management, or even at the lower levels. Every single person in our organization who speaks to a client, who speaks to a stakeholder, meets them, is the face of our company. And it is time that we polish our shoes, we make sure that our hair is in position, is proper, and everything related to that, so that when we have our relaxed Fridays or Saturdays, as the case may be with many organizations, people appreciate the value of why we are in formals from the entire week and why it is easy. Having said that, since we have the pleasure of having Sudipda in Bombay today on one of those rare cases, Delhi is his second home. Sudipda, would you like to say a few words before we hand over the mic to Jyoti?
You have to zoom out. No, let us get going. Chetan, let us get going.
ठीक है.
Maybe I will come in at the end.
ठीक है.
with my
And warm welcome to our IFF chairman, Mr. Tej Contractor. Hi, Tej. We will get back to you at the end of the program, but hi. And Jyoti, over to you. We
Yes.
look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Chaitali, and all the gentlemen all out here who are present. My heartfelt thanks to Triple F AI for always inviting me over and placing the trust in me and believing in me, giving me the opportunity to speak to you all, interact with you all. So I'm absolutely grateful and thankful to the forum, and it's my honor to be part of Triple F AI Women's Wing, or I get an opportunity to interact, connect with all the amazing professionals out there. So it's an absolute pleasure. I'm sharing my presentation. I hope it is visible to everyone. Okay.
Yes, it's all visible.
Okay, cool, great. So today, our topic of discussion is the influence advantage, building executive presence in the digital world. So this topic I've specifically picked up because it is very apt in our day-to-day working, as Amit sir very rightly pointed out that we are connected more digitally today rather than in person. Though we go to work, we operate from office, we are attending meetings, but our presence is more on the digital side rather than in person side. And post COVID, the popularity of the digital tools have gained immense importance, and today it is almost become a way of life where we are so very connected, so very dependent through the technology, and trying to enhance our presence digitally. So I would request you to please stick to the till the end of the session, because I will be sharing a lot of techniques which will be useful for everyone while they are operating in the digital mode, attending meetings, attending these knowledge sharing sessions, being part of the forum, or interacting with stakeholders globally. So, whatever techniques I'm going to take you through in today's session is very, very impactful. It will help you a lot to be more professional, be more productive, and create a more impactful impression on the stakeholders with whomever you are interacting. So, executive presence is no longer optional. It is a leadership necessity. A few years back, we could have probably said that executive presence is only for the top level people or only for the people who are in very important positions. But now we cannot say that, because it has almost become a necessity for every professional to put themselves in the shoes of a leader. Because tomorrow, when you will be climbing your corporate ladder or your the ladder of success in your work, you have to display the executive presence qualities in each and every role which you are taking, which is not just going to help you enhance your professionalism in the profile which you are, but it will also give you the bonus to take up the next level or the role which you are aspiring to in your organization, or for the organizations or forums for which you're working or representing. Hence, this is the new reality in today's digital workplace. First impressions are often virtual. So, even before we are meeting people in person, we get an opportunity to meet them virtually. And our first impressions are now being created in a virtual mode. So, earlier there was a saying that your first impression is your last impression, but now we get the opportunity to create these first impressions virtually more rather than meeting people in person. Then influence extends beyond hierarchy. So influence is no longer just been for the top level hierarchy executives. I mean, you at every level have to display influence in your role, where you are able to make an impact with each and every person whom you are interacting, be it your stakeholders, be it your customers, vendors, or any person whom you are connected with. Visibility impacts opportunities. This is something which I would vouch for. The more you are visible, the more opportunities you attract, be it in your profile or be it in your business. So virtual presence is a very, very important platform to attract opportunities and make yourself visible to the potential businesses or to the potential stakeholders. Trust must be built remotely. So trust is not something which needs which has to be built when you meet people in person, but it is now equally become important where you have to build trust in remote settings also. And communication definitely defines your credibility. I have throughout our executive presence series, right from the first session, I have been giving a lot of importance on your communication, the way it defines your credibility. So I'm sure all the three sessions which you have which you must have attended, there would have been certain takeaways or pointers for you which would have helped you to work on your communication and work on how you can add value to professionals with whom you are interacting. Now, the core pillars of executive presence, I have always put a lot of emphasis on your gravitas, that is your confidence, credibility, and composure under pressure. For us, being into logistics, we are constantly under pressure. We are constantly under constant quick decision making scenarios. So how you present yourself in such situations? Communication, which always needs to be very clear, concise, and impactful, because there is no place or no scope of any misunderstanding or miscommunication happening in our business. Every word counts, every minute counts. Hence, your communication needs to be absolutely clear, absolutely concise, and impactful. And your appearance. So, your professional image and your virtual presence both play a very important role. Like professionals generally do not realize the importance of appearance, but it matters. The way you put yourself, the way you conduct yourself, the way you are dressed up, the way you have, the way you have done your hair, everything matters. So you must be paying some attention to your professional image also, because that is where your impression is formed immediately, and especially in virtual setups where people are not able to see you in person. They are just seeing you through the lens, they are just seeing you through an online camera setting. So for such professionals, when we are into such a scenario, our presence all the more makes an impact. Hence, pay key attention or detailing to how you present yourself in virtual setups also. So I will be sharing a few pointers and tips on how you can enhance this. So executive presence is not about authority or position anymore. It is all about inspiring confidence, building trust, and creating influence through every interaction, whether in person or online. Now, master your virtual presence, virtual first impression. So, how you can do that? Whatever virtual meetings you are attending, any virtual meetings where you get an opportunity to participate, join the meeting at least 5 minutes early. Okay, so make it a point that where you're joining the meeting at least 5 minutes early, because you get the time to fix the technical glitch just in case the last minute internet connectivity gives away. So join meetings at least 5 minutes early. Ensure good lighting and professional background. There are a lot of options available on virtual platforms, especially Zoom meeting, Google meeting, or Teams meeting. So see to it that the background what you're choosing is very professional, not very clumsy, because the background not being professional can be a huge distraction for the people who are attending the meeting, for others who are viewing you. Hence, ensure that the background is professional and there is always a good lighting, whether it is natural light or artificial light. Ensure that your face is very clearly visible to your participants. Position the camera at the eye level. Very important. We do not realize where exactly are we looking when we are interacting in virtual setups. So how do you position your camera? It should be at the eye level. You should be looking right through the camera while interacting with your participants, and dress appropriately for the audiences and the occasion. So whatever is the occasion, whoever is your audiences, you need to dress appropriately, whether it is business formals or business casuals, whatever you're wearing, see to it that it is presentable. Smart casuals or smart business formals, whatever you choose, see to it you are dressed appropriately for the occasion, especially in virtual setups, because people feel that okay, it's a virtual meeting, my dressing doesn't matter, or at the max I will keep my camera switched off. But actually that is not professional. So pay attention on how you are being dressed for your virtual meetings, even if you are taking the meeting from the comfort of your home. Remember, your screen presence is your new boardroom presence. So now your screen presence has now become your new boardroom presence. So be the way exactly you would enter a boardroom offline when you're attending your virtual meetings as well. I would want to share one recent experience of mine, which happened where I had to attend a client meeting and some discussion for an upcoming project. Everything was set. I logged in on time. My notes were ready. My questions were ready. And I was all set to get into the meeting. The moment the meeting started, there was a technical glitch and the camera snapped off. Means my voice was audible, but I was not visible to the client, due to which the client called off the meeting. They called off because they were not able to see the speaker. Hence, they said that we would not like to continue the meeting. A last minute technical glitch, unanticipated, absolutely, for which I was not prepared. And I did not get the opportunity again to speak to that client. So, this is how your perceptions are formed. Even after you being 100% prepared to get into a meeting, a last minute technical glitch can take away the opportunity from you. And this is something which I just recently experienced. Moving ahead, so build credibility, confidence, and influence beyond your designation. So this is my urge to all the professionals who have joined in today's webinar, that try building your credibility and influence beyond your designation. So my question to you is, have you ever met someone who commands respect the moment they speak, regardless of their title? And have you also met people with impressive designations but still struggle to influence others? I'm sure we all must have come across such people that, irrespective of their designation, the moment they speak, they are able to command respect. And there would be people who might be on very impressive designation, but they still struggle to influence others. So, professionals who get most trust are the ones who are consistent in their action, reliable in meeting commitments, knowledgeable in their domain, honest and transparent in their communication. So this is something where you need to constantly be very cautious about, where you show consistency throughout your actions, whatever task you have taken in hand, see to it that your actions are consistent. You are you are sticking to your commitments, whichever you have promised to various stakeholders, irrespective whether the task is done or not. But you take the responsibility of going back to the stakeholders and keeping them updated on whatever information you have. Knowledgeable in your domain. We all are knowledgeable and expert in some or the other domain. So, are you showing those capabilities enough to whomever you are interacting with, and being honest and transparent in communication? So, this is the greatest quality of an executive, where they are constantly being honest and transparent in communication and gaining the trust from their subordinates, from their team members, and with whomever they are interacting. So credibility is built over time through small actions. Every promise you keep and every commitment you honor adds to your professional reputation. So credibility is something which is not going to be built in one day. You have to build it brick by brick and take every day as an opportunity through small actions where you are keeping to your commitments and you are honoring your professional reputation. Now, communicate with impact in virtual, hybrid, and in-person settings. So, we all have experienced where you are interacting virtually also, where you are interacting in a hybrid setup also, and where you are interacting in in-person setup also. So, you have to adapt yourself according to the environment. In whichever environment you are communicating, quickly adapt yourself into it. Say, like when you are in a virtual setup and you get an opportunity, look at the camera while speaking, use vocal energy and variation, pause more frequently to invite participation. So, these are a few tricks which you can use in a virtual setup. When you are hybrid, this is very tricky, where you have certain participants who are there in present, in your presence, who offline, and there are certain participants who have joined online. And whenever the speaker engages, they most of the time forget the people who have joined online, and they just keep interacting with the participants whom they are able to see in front of them. So, when you are in a hybrid setup where you have both the participants offline and online, engage both in room and remote participants equally. Do not forget that you even have participants who have joined in online. Check in with your virtual attendees regularly. So, at regular intervals, go back to your virtual participants and check with them whether they are in sync with you and whether they are following what you are being telling. And avoid side conversation that excludes remote participants. So don't just keep interacting with participants who are there in person, but include the remote participants also. So this gives them a feeling that yes, we are also a part of the communication, though we are connected remotely. So interacting in a hybrid setup is very tricky because most of the time the participants forget that the speaker forgets that there are participants who have joined in remotely, and they just keep interacting with people who are there in front of them. Then when you're meeting people in person, I have always put a lot of emphasis on using your eye contact and body language intentionally. I had shared a technique of the Z technique of interacting with your participants when you are in a meeting. Move with purpose. So, whatever space or the podium which has been given to you as a speaker, move with purpose, move with intention so that you are able to connect with each and every participant who is there. And read the room, adjust your approach accordingly. As a speaker or as a presenter, it is very important for us to read the energy of the room. And this you can very well do within the first 10 minutes of you entering the room and seeing the people. So according to the energy, according to the vibes of the room and your participants, you need to adjust your approach. And this comes with practice. I myself have experienced this a lot of time, where you walk into a room with one strategy, but when you read the mood of the participants, you need to switch to your plan B, because plan A is not going to work. So always have your plan B in place, just in case your plan A is not going to work. Increase visibility strategically. So whenever you are in a virtual setup, okay, so there is a very strategic way of increasing your visibility, because increasing visibility is attracting opportunities. So whenever you get an opportunity to participate or contribute in online sessions, sharing your insights during meeting is very important. Contribute ideas on professional platform, because that is where you will be able to increase your visibility. Participating in industry forums and webinar, like the webinar where you have participated today, and there would be many more such knowledge sharing sessions where you would get an opportunity to listen to the speakers and even add value from your end. Volunteer for cross functional projects. So this is a very strategic way of placing yourself in virtual setups, because these visibilities are going to create opportunities for you. So whenever there is an opportunity to be present in virtual forums, be very strategic in placing yourself. Share your insight, contribute your ideas, volunteer for cross-functional projects. Use the power structure. So if you are communicating using this structure in virtual setups, your communication will definitely enhance. So what is the power structure? The P stands for purpose. Why are you communicating? Very important for your stakeholders to know that why have we gathered today on this forum. So the purpose needs to be communicated very clearly. Outcome. What result do you want? Right? So what is the outcome, or what is the result of this discussion that needs to be conveyed to your participants? Who is your audience? Very important again. Until you do not know your audiences, you would not be able to put forth your message very effectively to them. So whenever you are attending your meetings, or whenever you are into knowledge sharing sessions, ensure to know whom exactly you are going to speak to, because that is going to help you with your preparation. Engage. How are you going to involve them? So in knowledge sharing sessions or webinars like this, where most of the time the speaker speaks and the participant listen, and we give the opportunity to our participants to engage at the end of the session, where we have a Q&A round. So this is one way of speaking. But when you are in meetings, when you are in forums, always engage your participants by asking them relevant questions at intervals, which gives them a feeling of being involved into communication. Reinforce what action or takeaway they should remember. So always have takeaways or actionables at the end of the session. So this will help you ensure that whatever information you have been sharing in that particular meeting or in that particular forum has been well received by the participants. When you give them actionables or takeaways there, where they need to remember certain things or need to come back to you with certain tasks after being completed. The 3-second presence pause. This is also a very interesting technique. So before speaking in a virtual meeting, whenever you have to speak in a virtual meeting, sit upright. So position yourself, because your posture also makes a huge difference when you are speaking. Your posture directly impacts your voice. So if you're slouching, if you're sitting lazily, if you're not sitting erect, the impact is directly on your voice. You would not sound confident, you would not sound clear. So please remember that your posture directly impacts the quality of your voice. Hence, always sit upright. Look into the camera. Always. Do not look at the screen. Do not look here and there. Do not look distracted. Always look into the camera. Pause for 2 or 3 seconds before speaking. So when you are about to speak, just take a pause for at least 2-3 seconds before you gather yourself to speak. So this start helps you to start with a bang, to start with a confidence. Pausing before speaking is a very strategic way of placing yourself in a virtual setup. Why it works? Because people who rush into speaking often appear nervous. A brief pause signals confidence and control. So the pause is to gather your confidence and to control the conversation. Hence, pause very briefly, 2 to 3 seconds before you are about to speak in a meeting, especially in a virtual setup. Then the pace technique. This is also very interesting. Many professionals speak too fast when they are nervous. Probably you must have experienced this or must have heard someone speaking where when they are nervous, when they are not confident, the speed at which they are speaking is a little faster because they want to quickly finish the conversation as they're getting nervous. So the pace technique helps you to be in control of the speed at which you are speaking. So whenever you are in a virtual setup, slow down at least by 10 to 15%. So whatever is your natural pace of speaking, slow down 10 to 15%. Why? Because then you will be audible very clearly to each and every participant who is there in the meeting. Pause at the end of important sentences because it allows the listener to absorb the information. Pauses, people generally get uncomfortable with silence, but silence actually allows your listeners to absorb the information. Hence, have a pause of at least 2 to 3 seconds at the end of every important sentence. What is the impact? Makes your sound calm, confident, and in control. So, this pace technique is also very interesting, and you can use this in your next virtual meeting where you slow down at least 10 to 15% while speaking, pause at every important sentence 2 to 3 seconds, not more than that, because this allows your listeners to absorb whatever you have said before you get into the next topic. Now, this is also a very interesting slide where you are able to enhance your professional visibility and personal brand. So, how you can do that? Be known for something. As a professional, you must be having some or the other expertise in you, where you are a pro in certain topic, pro in a certain concept. So be known for something. What do you want to be known for? Where your peers, your colleagues, your team members, your stakeholders know you, that yes, this person is an expert in this particular domain. Make your expertise visible. Many professionals do excellent work, but they remain invisible. Why? Because they are not able to showcase their talent to the people with whom they are interacting. They might be really good at whatever they are doing, but they remain invisible because they are not able to present themselves. Build a strong digital presence. This is important for each and every professional where your digital footprint is often your first impression. So I would encourage each and every participant in this webinar to build your digital presence, build your LinkedIn profile where you are able to engage with your stakeholders. where they are able to connect with you, where they are able to see your professional visibility online. Share value, not just information. So whenever you're posting online or whenever you're speaking, what value addition are you doing to the person who is listening to you? So it is not just about giving information, but it is also adding value, which will some or the other way benefit the person who has been listening. Develop strategic relationships, because visibility grows through relationships. This is something goes without saying. The more you are visible, the more you are able to work on your professional relationships. Build a reputation for reliability. Your personal brand is shaped by what people can count you for. So your personal brand is not just about your reputation, but on what people can count you for, that is also very important. Maybe for your commitments, maybe for your multitasking, maybe for you sticking to the deadlines. So on what people can count you for. Your designation tells people your role, but your personal brand will tell people your value. The camera lens technique. So this is also very interesting technique where you are engaging with your participants in a virtual setup. Most people look at their screen instead of the camera. So whenever you are in a virtual setup, people mistake of looking at the screen rather than looking at the camera. So when making an important point, look directly at the camera lens, hold eye contact for at least 3 to 5 seconds. So though you are probably reading your presentation or trying to make a remark, but whenever you have an important point to for your participants to know, look directly into the camera lens and hold your eye contact for 3 to 5 seconds. What impact does this technique make? It creates the feeling of direct connect and leadership presence, where you are making an emphasis on something which is very important, and you are having a direct eye contact, especially in a virtual setup. So this creates a feeling where your participants are able to connect with you, and it enhances your leadership presence, it enhances your confidence, it enhances your credibility, that yes, people are able to trust the information and the words which you are being speaking. Develop strategies to earn trust and strengthen stakeholder relationship. So how can you do that? Trust is equal to credibility plus reliability plus connection. So how do you build your trust? Credibility, reliability, and the people with whom you are connecting. So I would want you to ask yourself these three important questions. Do people see me as competent? Do people see me as dependable? Do people feel comfortable working with me? If you have got answers to these three questions, that means you have definitely strengthened your relationship with your stakeholders. I repeat again, I would want you to ask yourself, do people see me as competent? Do people see me as dependable? Do people feel comfortable working with me? And if your answer is yes to all the three questions, then you have definitely earned the credibility and reliability from your stakeholders. When all three are present, trust naturally grows. So my question for reflection to you is today is, what is one action you can take this week to strengthen trust with a client, colleague, vendor, or stakeholder? So this is your activity. Okay. Once the session is over, probably I would want you to reflect on this particular question. What action are you going to take in this coming week which will strengthen your trust with a client, maybe with a colleague, with a vendor, or a stakeholder. How are you going to do that? So this is your reflection activity after the webinar. The 70-30 rule. This is also very interesting and very impactful during virtual meetings. 70% listening, 30% speaking. So whenever you are in a virtual meeting, the time what you are investing, 70% should actually be invested for listening to the speaker, and 30% should be invested in speaking to the participants. So professionals with strong executive presence don't dominate conversations. They contribute thoughtfully. So your 30% time should always go in contributing thoughtfully into the meetings where you are being a participant. And 70% of the time you are absorbing the information which is being shared with you. So always apply this 70-30 rule in your virtual meetings. Just do not invest 100% time in listening, but invest at least 25 to 30% time engaging with the people in your virtual meetings. So this will enhance your visibility also. This will help you contribute very thoughtfully in the sessions or the forums where you are participating. Learn how leaders influence without relying on authority. So when you have to influence, when you have to get into the shoes of influencing, you need a position or an authority. You can influence people just by using this formula where trust, credibility, and relationships add value. So I would want you to think about someone who has influenced your decision, inspired growth, or gained support. Did they influence you because of their title, or because how they communicated, connected, or added value? So this is also one question which I want you to think on. Did you come across any person or any professional who was able to inspire your decision or support you or have helped you grow in your career without any authority or without any position? Just because the way they communicated with you, just because the way they connected with you, or just because they were able to add value to your communication. Can you think about any such person coming without any coming to you without any authority but have left you influenced? So what does the influence formula say? Influence is trust plus credibility plus relationships plus value. The more consistently you demonstrate these elements, the more influence you gain regardless of your position. So influence is not about authority, but how you make people feel seen and heard, how you are adding value to your relationships, how you are able to gain that trust just with interacting with your people. So the more consistently you demonstrate these values, the more influence you are able to gain regardless of your position. The position doesn't matter. How you are able to constantly influence the people with whom you are interacting, that matters. So this is how you can learn to influence without relying on any authority. So this is the smile technique before, very interesting, and the smile technique before you speak. So before turning on your microphone, or before before speaking, or when you know that this is just your opportunity to speak, before turning your microphone, relax your face. Very important technique. You need to relax your face. Smile very naturally. So your smile should be natural, not very made up or not a very straight face, but a natural smile. And then you speak. Your voice becomes more warmer, more engaging, and more confident. So the next time, whenever you have switched on your camera and microphone in a virtual meeting, the smile before you speak technique should definitely be implemented. Before turning your microphone on, relax your face, smile naturally, and then you speak. You will immediately feel the difference where your voice becomes warmer, you are able to engage, and you become more confident. And this can be very much be heard and experienced by your participants. So next time, try and implement this smile technique before speaking in your virtual meetings. Now, identify and overcome these habits that diminish professional presence. So, there are certain habits which we have in us, not knowingly, unknowingly, also, we might get into certain behaviors which immediately diminish our professional presence. So, let us highlight what could be these habits which we can definitely overcome cautiously or maybe unconsciously. So, the first habit which diminishes your professional image is speaking without preparation. So, whenever you are trying to speak, but you are not prepared on what you have to speak. So, this is a habit which you need to cautiously overcome because your meetings, your presentations, your interactions are not something which are happening very suddenly. You get enough time to prepare. So walking into a meeting unprepared is a immediate behavior which reflects unprofessionalism. Hence, whenever you have been given the opportunity to speak, go well prepared. Apologizing excessively. This is also a habit which might diminish your professional presence. Apologize only once. Excessive apologizing is not required. Using weak or tentative language. So, using a language with a lot of apology words or with a lot of tentative words where you're not very confident about what information you are sharing can also be a habit which will not look good on your professionalism. Remaining silent in meetings. So that is where the 70-30 formula needs to be implemented, where 70% time you are contributing to listening and 30% time you are contributing to speaking. Remaining completely silent in meetings also will go against your professionalism, where you are not contributing at all. So whether you are present in the meeting or not present in the meeting is not known by the participants. Multitasking during virtual meetings. So this is also something where professionals try to multitask, but actually it is not something which is recommended. If you are in a virtual meeting, ensure that you are giving 100% attention only to the meeting where you have invested your time rather than multitasking, working on 10 different things while you are just being physically present in front of the camera. So this habit is also something which diminishes your professional presence. We might feel that the other people might not realize, but trust me, it quickly is visible where you're not being attentive in a virtual meeting and the person can make out that you're not attentive, you're busy into something else. Interrupting others. So in virtual setups, in virtual meetings, all the participants get opportunity to speak. Interrupting while the speaker is speaking is also something which reflects not very good on your professional presence. So whenever given an opportunity, speak, or you can always show your interest in speaking by using various tools in virtual platform, but do not interrupt. Reacting emotionally under pressure. So this is also something which might diminish your professional presence. Being in control of our emotions is something as professionals we must execute always. Though we are under pressure constantly, our profiles demand that kind often presence where we need to be calm in pressure also. So being in control of our emotions is very important, and reacting emotionally under pressure might definitely go against you. Lack of follow through. So if you have committed on certain follow up, ensure that you go back to the person. Even if you go back with an update that you need some time more to come back with the exact details or exact data, is fine, but follow through your commitments. That is very important. And professionals lack follow through is again something going against their professionalism. Neglecting your digital presence. So don't be just focused on your work, on your profile, on your tasks and your KPIs. Spend some productive time on working your digital presence also. Because today, in a world where we are connected at the tip of our fingertips, it is very important to be digitally present also. So contribute thoughtfully at least once a week on whatever digital platforms you are there, where people are able to engage, they are able to understand their thought process, they are able to know you as a professional. Because a lot of people get into your profiles to understand what kind of a professional you are, what kind of a knowledge sharing you do on your posts, how interested you are in your how interested you are in expanding your network. That also talks a lot about your professionalism. Hence, do not neglect your digital presence. Invest some time in a week to connect with people digitally, focusing only on tasks and not relationship. So relationship building is something which every professional must practice. So it is not only about completing your KRAs and KPIs, but also on focusing your relationships with the way multiple stakeholders with whom you are interacting. So invest some time in building professional relationships also, where you pick up the phone, contact the person, ask them how they are, rather than just picking up the phone to speak to them for work. At least maybe you can call them to just to know their well-being. 2 minutes of your time might make someone's day. So get into the habit where you are able to connect with people, not just for work, but at least to know the well-being. This is where the human touch adds a lot of importance and value in a world where we are digitally connected. The virtual triangle. So this is also a very interesting technique to maintain audience engagement. So how you can do that? Alternate between looking at the camera, looking at the participants, and looking at your notes. So this is a virtual triangle technique where you can maintain the audience engagement, where you spend some time looking at the camera, where you spend time looking at the participants who are in the meeting, and you spend time looking at the notes which you have prepared for that specific meeting or the get together which is there. So this prevents appearing robotic or distracted, where you are just constantly focusing on the participants or just constantly looking at the camera, or not looking at the participants' camera, just looking at the notes. So this gives a very robotic presence where there are no movements. So the virtual triangle technique helps you to maintain audience engagement, where you are giving equal attention to the participants, equal attention while you are speaking on your notes, and equal attention engaging with the stakeholders who are there in the meeting. The energy shift technique. So this is also very interesting and very helpful. Your energy should match your message. Like for updates, whenever you are giving an update, your energy, that is your voice, should be calm and professional. Whenever you are sharing success stories, whenever you are sharing an achievement, whenever you are sharing some happy information, your voice should be automatically energetic and enthusiastic. And whenever you are engaging in a difficult conversation, Your voice should be measured and assuring. So this energy shift, according to the information what you are sharing, should match with your message. What impact does it make? It makes your communication more authentic. It makes it more engaging. So next time, whenever you are speaking in a virtual setup, use the energy shift technique to match the energy of your message. Giving an update, calm and professional, success stories, energetic, enthusiastic, difficult conversations, measured, reassuring. The practice active digital listening. So what do we mean by digital listening? So we know something as listening, but what is digital listening? So listening means demonstrate engagement, and how you can demonstrate engagement by taking notes whenever you are part of virtual meetings, virtual setups, virtual platforms. Demonstrate engagement by taking relevant notes. Don't rely on your memory to remember everything, whatever has been spoken in the meeting. Take notes whenever possible. Ask relevant questions. Summarize the key points. Acknowledge others' contribution. So, whenever you have to make your presence active, this is something which you can implement. Taking notes, asking relevant questions, summarizing the key points, and also thanking and acknowledging the contribution of the participants who have been there in the meeting. So, what impact does this make? It influences professional listening before they lead. So, influential professionals listen before they lead. So, practice active listening digital technique helps you to demonstrate your listening skills also in a in a virtual setup. And trust me, if you engage in this activity, you will look really more professional, really more engaging, and more influential in a virtual setup. Now, since we almost come to the end of our webinar, so the takeaways for all our participants, this is a 30-day leadership goal. How you can set a 30-day leadership goal? So contribute at least once in every meeting. So from next meeting, whenever you are attending, contribute at least once in every meeting, whichever you are attending. Schedule 2 stakeholder relationships conversation every month. So even if there are no conversations, schedule a relationship conversation with your stakeholder every month. Even if you do not have an update, even if you do not have any work with them, but try and schedule a meeting with them just to know how is work going on. Share one professional insight on LinkedIn weekly. This is how you can engage and network with more and more professionals and enhance your digital presence. Practice concise communication using headline, reason, action model. So, how can you communicate concisely using this model where you state the headline? What exactly are you going to speak? What is the reason for speaking? And what is the action required in this particular conversation? So this model helps you to speak very concisely and precisely, and it can be mastered by continuous practice. Seek feedback from a trusted source. It could be a manager, it could be a peer, it could be a client, because feedbacks are very valuable. So always go for feedbacks. It will help you understand where you have improvised and where you need to work. So this is this is the activity for all our participants, and I would want you to do this on a scale of 1 of 10. How visible are you in your virtual meetings? I would request you to put your comments in the chat box. from 1 being the least to 10 being the highest, on a scale of 1 to 10, how visible are you in your virtual meetings? Just, you can put yourself into a self analysis and let us know. And what one technique from today's session will help you move 1 point higher? So I shared n number of techniques in today's session. Which technique you find will be the most beneficial for you to move 1 point higher in your virtual presence? So with this, I leave you with the reflection and the learning. Thank you very much for being present in today's webinar. I hope it added value and a lot of information which will help you enhance your executive presence. Your digital presence is your professional signature. Make every interaction count. Thank you so much.
Jyoti, this was simply absolutely marvelous. You have changed the way I'm sure I can speak on behalf of the audience, is that you've changed the way that we look at speaking on Zoom or in Google Meet or anywhere else, as a matter of fact. And thank you for being so open and candid about your own example, because it's coming as a trainer, it would not have been easy to share where you lost out on an opportunity, because that's not, which is important for people to know that at the end of the day, we are humans and it happens to us. So if we are practicing what we speak, then what you have given an example is absolutely brilliant. In fact, I was slouching, and when you mentioned about, you know, you need to be sitting straight and all, automatically went up straight like that. Your grooming techniques, everything. I wish I today, for a change, I genuinely regret that we don't have more participants, because whatever you've said in the last 1 hour is so important for every single one of us. And I just feel pity for those who have not been able to, understand what they are missing out on. And life is, our clearances are always going to be there and our bookings are always going to be there. But sometimes we need to take these 45 minutes off the crazy work that we do to upskill ourselves. So I think it was probably beats everybody else's sessions, including your own first 3 sessions. And I can't thank you enough for this. Before I hand over to Sudeepda, Sudhir bhai, would you like to say a few words?
Oh, I think, Chetali, I just want to say that in yesteryear, I used to hear this term called finishing school. The
Yeah.
girls of the family used to go to these finishing schools where they were taught, many.
Yes,
And today's course, I thought, was a finishing school for people like us who are working in a corporate culture. So it
agreed.
was all those techniques, all those things which one has to, do religiously. Like these are the techniques which are untold. People, I think they gather it by experience. Nobody educate you. But
Yes,
today, in 1 hour, you got, a lot of knowledge which you actually acquire over a period of years. So I personally feel it was a wonderful session today. And I think if we have got a recording of it, we will
yes.
share it with all our members. So they will realize sooner or later what an opportunity it would have been if they would have participated. But then, nonetheless, though personally I don't like to share such kind of a matlab sessions to people who doesn't come on time, but for the sake of you know betterment of our fraternity, we will share it and they will realize it. And next time, I think they will be on time for such kind of courses. Thank you,
Thank
Chaitanya,
you,
and
Sudhir
thank
bhai.
you, Jyoti ji.
Yes,
Thank you, Jyoti ji.
thank you, Sudhir bhai. Thank you, Amit bhai.
Is it on? Am I audible?
Yes,
Yeah, very interesting session. Ms. Jyoti Gupta, I'm very thankful to you. I mean, I concur with Sudhir Bhai and Chaitali. And people who have not attended this webinar indeed have missed a very important uh, webinar. And sometimes I feel sorry. I mean, Chaitali, it takes so much of interest to curate some beautiful, important webinars, and it's unfortunate that people don't realize the importance of it. But perhaps because this is not connected to our day-to-day clearance work, but I would
Yes.
say it's more important than day-to-day clearance work, because this is, people say the way you dress, the way you speak, the way you present yourself makes your impression. It's your first impression which you create when you go to a client, when you speak in meetings, and that impression lasts forever. Unless you do something which is a radical change or something, or sometimes you don't even get a second opportunity. So
Agreed.
I feel that this is a very subtle but a very important subject, and many of us, including myself, they've got a lot to learn from this webinar. We also have, when this virtual meeting started, it started all of a sudden because of the pandemic. And now people have realized the advantage of that. Like even in our federation, I mean, every day we have one or other virtual meeting. And so it's so important to you, and the audiences or the people whom we interact are so diverse. Like, you are talking to senior bureaucrats, you are talking to ministers, you are talking to uh, commissioner of customs or some other important officers, you're talking to your members, you're talking to international delegates. I mean, it's so important to present yourself correctly, your diction, your attire, your mannerisms, they all make a lot of difference. And I was paying attention to what you were saying, that when you share a success story, how should your voice modulation be? When you're saying something, what should be your voice modulation? I think those nitty-gritties we would not have understood it if it was not for this webinar. So thank you so much, and I think uh, we all have benefited from this webinar is what I could say. Thanks.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Bhau.
Chaitanya.
Thank you, Amit Bhau. And now I hand over to Sudeepda for his closing remarks.
Yeah, thank you, Chaitali. Before I give my uh, deliberate on my vote of thanks, may I ask a question, please? See, I smiled before I.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
So tell me seriously, on a serious note, we have a lot of young people who are excellent in their professional lives. They do what they do very well, but but they are not visible. They are not upcoming and trying to self promote themselves.
Right.
So what is there one quick habit or the easiest one you can suggest which they can use and kind of be more visible without being looking self promoting? So
The one technique which from the webinar itself I would want to pick up, that is the 70-30 rule. So where they are listening 70%, but at least they are contributing 30%. So it would not make them look very pushy, but it will make them help being visible in a subtle way. So that is a very excellent way for young professionals to create their visibility, where they are able to contribute in each and every interaction where of what they are a part of it. At least one point in every meeting which helps them enhance their visibility, which helps the others know what kind of expertise, knowledge, and ideas they have, because young professionals are brimming with fresh ideas, but they do not understand the importance of sharing that with others. So they should be encouraged and giving the opportunity to participate at least one point in each and every interaction. So that is my take for young professionals who are, joining the industry.
Jyoti ji, on a lighter note, when you're talking about grooming, there is a slight twinkle in his eyes. The look I told you kind of a look already. So he's 2 steps ahead of us in this. He's already there.
Ah, great, great.
We
Swati,
are,
just check the Chaitanya, just check the chat box. Is there anything there?
yes, we have a lot of wonderful comments, but I would also like to add one more thing. Sudipta, with your
Is there
permission,
any question there? Is there
there
any
is no
question?
question there. Everybody is only having nice things to say. I actually wanted to say, there's one thing, Jyoti, is that this industry now has changed the way we look at people. Okay. So adding on to what Sudeepda has said, I will take the liberty of also answering is that another way of visibility is that the youngsters need to be part of events where they are actually working. They don't just come as visitors or as guests over there. They actually need to be working is because when you show that you have the mettle to be part of an event where you're actually knee deep into it and you can be standing on your feet for 10 hours, 12 hours, 15 hours, work and still have a smile at the end of your day. That is number one. Number two is that they need to contribute by either by way of, writing articles or taking part in programs, even just attending these webinars and seminars that we have and asking intelligent questions is one way of getting noticed. So it is definitely there. Yes, now we finally have the first question. Thank you, Mr. Vinay. He says that can similar techniques be used when we are present physically in a meeting? Jyoti.
Yes, absolutely. You can use the same techniques when you are present physically in a meeting, the smile technique. So, whenever there is an opportunity for you to speak, take that pause, bring that smile on your face, and get into the conversation. Your smile will be seen and heard. The pause technique. So, pause before getting into an important conversation. Very important. It will highlight your confidence. It will highlight your communication. So the techniques what I have shared is not just in virtual setups, but which can very much be implemented in one-on-one meetings also. More focus on eye contact can improve your confidence. Definitely, yes. Your eye contact, the 3 to 5 second technique of maintaining an eye contact is very important. So, yes, the techniques can be very much implemented in one-on-one sessions as well.
Thank you. I have to say we have some wonderful comments. Kuldeep ji, thank you for being there. He says excellent session. Mr. Rama says it was highly knowledgeable. Thank you for arranging. Yes, we are going to share the PPT and we are going to share the video recording. Mr. Nikun Shah, it was a great session, insightful and helpful. Thank you. Mr. Arokya Raj says, thank you all, one and so much. Mr. Basav Raju, thank you, sir, for being there. Thank you, ma'am. We have wonderful session today. It will be much helpful to the professionals. Mr. Guna Sekaran, today's webinar is absolutely perfect, purposeful session. Thank you, Triple FAI, for arranging this. And yes, we will come back. Poonamji says, thank you for an excellent session. It was very helpful and informative. Mr. Rama comes back again. Jyoti, for you. Miss Jyoti Gupta ji, it was a wonderful session. Thanks a lot for sharing the knowledge. Thank you, Mr. Basavraju, for appreciating the webinar that Triple FAI is doing. And yes, Mr. Vinay, more focus on eye-to-eye contact can improve your confidence. You're welcome. Seema Daga from Calcutta says, excellent. I wish more attendees from Calcutta. Seema, please tell people and keep sending them reminders one day, and on the same day, you have the highest number of the youth in the youth wing, and we don't see anybody over here. So yes, please, if you can do that, then that would be really nice. And with that, ladies and gentlemen,
So one sec. Sorry if I have missed out. Jyoti, sorry if I have missed out. Tell me, is there a importance or necessity as to how we place ourselves in front of the camera. Because see, now I'm talking with a camera which is far away, but generally if I have a camera in front of my laptop, some people tend to be talking like this, and they see a face which is out of proportion. And so is there a technique, or does it have importance with respect to that? Some people even speak with their camera off. So I'm sorry if I have missed out that part, if you have touched, but if you can just dwell on
Yes,
that part.
I did share the technique of placing yourself in the camera lens. So your presence on camera is very important. Being off camera in virtual meetings is considered very unprofessional. So whenever you are in virtual meetings, ensure that your camera is on. Place the lens at a level where your face is visible, like the posture what you just uh, mimicked to show us is actually not the right way of sitting for a virtual setup. So, as I said, please sit upright, face the camera, have an eye to eye contact with the lens, and then speak. It enhance your posture enhancement adds to the quality of your voice, and being visible, being present in virtual meeting is an excellent. So yes, though right now, since you are in a meeting room and you are, in a group, you are attending the session. So this placement is absolutely fine. But when you are attending meetings on your laptop, so your posture, your look while you're speaking through the camera, engaging with your participants matters a lot, and that is where your impression is formed. So I did share the technique where the camera lens technique can be used when you're speaking or engaging with your participants.
Thank you. So, before I go on to thanking everyone for the contribution they have made towards today's webinar, with due respect, Jyoti, may I please thank Chaitali for bringing up such wonderful topics and such wonderful webinars on, if I may say so, soft skills, which have now become as important, if not more, than the hard skills which we actually possess, the technical skills we actually possess. So, Chaitali, thank you. Thank you for driving these webinars. And of course, our speaker, Jyoti Gupta, thank you for sharing with us your expertise. You have worked on it. You have prepared the PPTs in such a manner. So simplicity is what the PPT shows, and it is easy for us to understand. Hopefully, we will be getting it and sharing it with all the participants.
Definitely.
And even if a small percentage of people practice it and enhance themselves in their professional or even family life, so I think we have done a good job. So thank you very much for coming at regular intervals and guiding us. I thank the Secretariat. I thank all the participants. I thank Sudhir Bhai taking charge of everything. And of course, our chairman sitting here, ultimately he's driving it. So anything good happens, it is to his credit. We will take all the blame for anything which are not so good. We will take the blame for that, but we will give him the credit for driving everything.
And eating below the
belt. and so, participants, thank you very much. The only good thing you can do is that please share it with your friends. In future, if we want to learn, if we want to actually value what FFI and the speaker is doing, each one bring one more participant in the next meeting. I think that is a very good way to grow. So having said that, thank you once again, everyone. We look forward to the next webinar. Till then, I think we can say goodbye and close this.
Yes, thank you very much for the kind words, Sudeepda. Jyoti, we should do one session on grooming, and we already have two participants here who
Absolutely.
actually can be your co-hosts and co-teachers because there's nobody better in entire Triple FAI across 6,500 members who knows how important or what are the benefits of grooming than our president, than our chairman and honorary secretary. So they can take the stage and you can help them just make the PPT. They will do this for us. And that
No,
time
no,
we
we
Sure.
will
will be
have
the
record
models. We
participation.
will be the model.
Ha, correct. Jyoti, you can be the model. We
He
will
can
do.
explain theoretically, he will show it practically.
Sure, it would
Yeah.
be my pleasure
So,
to be, preparing the presentation and Sudeep sir and Amit sir being the host and presenting it. Would
Yes.
love to do that.
And I will tell you the brands that you should highlight in that. So we will also have the customs brokers who handle those brands get free publicity. So maybe we will get some discount on those brands,
Uh,
starting with the ones that these gentlemen use. But that is on a lighter note. Thank you once again. Thank you to the audience for coming, joining us. So many of you have stayed back to listen to us. We look forward to seeing you again. And Sudeepda's idea is fabulous. The only way I think that you can implement what you have told us, the good things that we at Triple FA are doing is that if you can convince at least one more person to join the webinar, that would be the best way to do it. Jyoti, until next month, thank you very much. Thank you, Sudeep Bhai. Thank you, Amit Bhau. Thank you, Sudeep Da.
so,
Thank you, Swati.
Chaitali, before you close, I will
Yes.
like to add what when Sudeep was saying this thing, ki I want to thank Chaitali for all the wonderful sessions you have planned. And so there is this Kabir ka doha, long time back, I read it ki Guru Govind dou khade kaake lagu paye balihari Guru aapne Govind diyo bataye. So, while Jyoti is God for us for giving this, but you are the Guru who is taking her. So, our first thanks will be to you, Chaitali, for doing such a wonderful work, and then to Jyoti ji for taking
Sudeep,
out the time and,
Sudeep Bhai, that's too high a praise, and I don't think so. I think I'm very small for it, but thank you very much. Thank you.
anything for the education is always should be highly praised. Chaitali, people don't understand it, but it's a lot of effort that you guys have put in, and I am sincerely thankful on behalf of Triple FI to both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you. Thank you. We shall see you, ladies and gentlemen, next month at probably around the same time, but a date may be different. But please do join us and we'll have yet another interesting session. Thank you. Have a wonderful evening and a fantastic weekend ahead. Thank you. Bye bye. See you all. Bye, Jyoti. See ya. Take
Bye.
care. Bye
Thank
bye.
you.
See you all. See you all.